I've always thought that Bach is music for the gods and Handel is music for mankind, for Menschen, for people. I'm a person and I can relate much more directly to Handel because he's music for human beings. They were both wonderful composers. Nobody can say that Handel had less skill than Bach. He didn't. He was a fluent, a mellifluous and fluent composer of melody, harmony, counterpoint. And Bach, of course, is indisputable in his skill. There is no greater composer than either of the two of them. They were just composers for different days, for different moments, and both of them perhaps are the greatest giants in our musical and musico-dramatic literature. But I can't say that one is greater than the other. Certainly for the theatre, it's indisputable that Handel was one of the greatest theatric composers that ever lived, and I say that without any apology to Mozart, Wagner, or Strauss, or Verdi.
We're talking about operas here, and it's he has a wonderful flair for taking the simplest gesture and making it speak with a great immediacy in a way that Bach, I feel, is a great thinker, and every note is thought incredibly carefully and placed, and that's what his genius is. With Handel, it's a very instinctive feel for how to express emotion in the most concise and the most immediate way.
Handel wrote 34 operas, and of these 34 operas, 17 could be household names and are immediately performable. And another 5 or 6 are not very well known. Some of them are a little abstruse, but they are certainly very good pieces, and gradually, one by one, such as Armenia in Amsterdam lately, they're being rediscovered. So you've got a well over 20 fantastic music theatre pieces, which are a gift to any modern-day director, a gift to any modern-day opera house, whose values lie equally in the musical interpretation as well as in the visual interpretation. And they have now, as it's been seen and witnessed all over the world, the capacity to draw the public in. In the early 80s, when I became General Director of English National Opera in London, I had resolved that I would fully support a Handel tradition. Now, there I had a bit of luck. Charles Mackerras had been the music director in the era before me, and he had already invested heavily in a Handel tradition, and his performances of Giulio Cesar in the late 70s and beginning of the 80s were legendary. Just as I was starting at ENO, there was a new production of Handel's Xerxes, which a young director was tried out by the company. He was a staff director, what in Germany they called an Abendspielleiter, and his name was Nicholas Hytner. And he, together with David Fielding, his designer, made a production of Xerxes, which was then relatively unknown in London. And it hit the headlines and also hit the public right between the eyes and astounded them, confounded them, and delighted them. He set Xerxes in the Vauxhall Gardens of the Georgian Times. And it was an elegant production, but thoroughly modern in its viewpoint, and became a huge success, a legendary success.
Constant love, flushed with pride and stony